Hello, Isaiah, and thank you for joining us here at the Baldwin.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So, you have been on Snowfall from the very beginning, and I want to know, how does it feel to be saying goodbye to such an incredible series?
Mm. It's really bittersweet. I mean, we all knew this day would come. And I feel like with the work that was put in this season, we're all so proud of it. And I think we're all focused on making John proud, which I know that we all feel like we did. So it's just a really bittersweet moment, but more sweet than anything because we were able to grow as a family for these last 7 years because of COVID. And it was just a beautiful experience. So we know it's not like a final goodbye, but I am gonna miss going to work and seeing these group of actors every day. But yeah, it's a bittersweet moment.
I would imagine you guys have grown to be like a family.
Absolutely, absolutely. We just before I left LA, I'm back in Atlanta now, but we all got the Snowfall babies together. Everyone who had a baby in the duration of Snowfall, we got the babies together. So that was a fun experience.
Yes, and I love seeing you and your son all the time on my timeline. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Thank you,
Love
thank you.
seeing Black fatherhood on display. It has to be put out there at all times.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to just continue to show that love and display it. That's why I feel like I make it a thing to post my son, because that's the most thing I'm proud of, and it's the best feeling in the world. So I like to display that. So, fathers, especially young fathers, never feel weird or feel unmasculine to share these sweet moments with their kids.
Absolutely. So your character Leon has gone through a great deal of growth throughout the series. What do you think had the most impact on Leon's desire to leave to Africa?
Mm. Well, once he had that experience with accidentally killing that little girl, that then opened his mind up to like, wait, I'm headed down a certain path, and I'm now doing things that aren't sitting right with my soul. And I think that just opened the door for him to realize what is really going on in South Central that he's had a part in. And I think at that moment, he just wanted to, I guess, really connect with his roots and his ancestors and to learn more about Black history. How do we get to America? What happened to us in America? And he just wanted to get to the root of everything, of all of that. And that's Africa. So Leon and Wanda go to Ghana and have that whole experience of our motherland. And so it definitely stemmed from that accidental death of the little girl, for sure.
And we see I know a similar refuge in the movie Belly, where one of the characters, after seeing so many things and experiences so many things, he wanted to take his family also to Africa. So
Right.
I liked how that kind of touched in a very similar way, both of
Yeah,
those characters.
yeah.
So, if it were up to you, how
Mm.
would Leon's story end?
It was up to me exactly how it ends.
I don't know if I like that, because I know that there was an interview with another cast member that said it's going to be some tragedy.
It is. It is. But the way that they chose to end the show and my character specifically, I wouldn't change it at all. It's perfect.
Well, I'm going to hope that's good news, because your character, although a lot has happened with your character and we saw a lot of growth, and of course it was the tragic situation with Tiana, I still feel like everybody is pulling for not only Leon but also Wanda to
Right.
really have a happy ending, because those two characters are so pivotal in what we saw happen in both individual journeys, and then both of the characters coming back together. So I do hope that means it's going to be somewhat of a happy ending for Leon and for Wanda.
But you know, see, I feel like, you know, with a story like this, very rarely does anyone's life, you know, end in a happy ending. Like, it's very rare, but we'll see.
Absolutely, and I know that's something that we have to remember, that this is it's a crime drama, and when you look at the storylines and what everyone is going through and the setting and all of that, and this show has done an incredible job of staying close to what happens in real life. Yeah. So realistically, everyone is not going to be riding off into the sunset. You know, it has to stay real, and it has been. So us as fans, we're just preparing ourselves.
As y'all should. As y'all should. That's very smart.
So I have one more question for you, and it's Snowfall overall has done an excellent job layering in real life impact of violence and drugs on the Black community. What do you think the conversation will be around Snowfall 20 years from now?
Man, I think that 20 years from now, the conversation around the show will be just as relevant and impactful as it is today, because it's such a, I don't know, we found a way to tell our truth and our history and what happened to us here in America. But it's not like, how do I want to say it? We tell it in a beautiful way that would translate to different cultures, different ethnicities, and, you know, in a different time. So I feel like 20 years from now, they're still going to look at Snowfall and appreciate it for what it was, and what we were able to accomplish and how impactful it is, because I have people of all types of ethnicities coming up to me and appreciating the show. So it's not just the Black community who appreciate Snowfall, it's people all over the world, you know, to the Asian community, like white people, like everyone, like, comes up and shows love. And I'm like, man, like, I really can't process how big the show is most of the time, because I'm just a part of it. So I'm not on the outside looking in, I'm on the inside looking out. And it's so I don't really understand it just yet. But now that it's done and I can see Snowfall for what it is from start to finish, you know, then maybe I'll have a different perspective on it.
And I mean, I know a lot of people that are still discovering the show. So even though it's now about to end, as far as, you know, new seasons being created and things like that, it is creating new fans every day. And honestly, I'm always hearing it compared to the likes of The Wire and Breaking Bad. So that is amazing company to be in when we're talking about where the conversation is going to be 20 years from now. I mean, The Wire is used as a teaching tool in some classrooms. And I can see that with Snowfall, because Snowfall touches on a lot of historical things too. And it's so many layers in this amazing show. You guys have done an incredible job with this show. I hope you guys enjoy all the flowers you're going to receive now and 20 years from now, because it is well deserved.
I appreciate that.
So I want to thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you sitting down with the Baldwin today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.